and run away. And it looks like someone has jump-started there. I believe that is Dickerson that has jumped it off the start. And Hamilton's managed to get away pretty well. Going up to turn 4. It's Hamilton in the lead. I have to look back at the battle. Rowley's in P2. Charavanamudtu is in P3. Morgan's in P4. Blakey's P5. We have a virtual safety car. Looks like an incident at the start. So Dixon's got that drive-through. And it looks like Havey and Vernon getting in a scrap at the back of the grid there. Still on the way. That was Morgan getting ready. He's hungry to get by. We can now see the tyre strategies as well. A majority of the drivers going for the mediums. Quite a few on the hards. Green flag racing again. And that is a move by Lee on Blakey. The Lee up to P5. Now Blakey down to P6. And there's movement further behind in the Ferraris. Well, that's Morton in the Ferrari sandwich between Howarth and Garino. We are green flag racing. No intervals yet. Hopefully we'll get them as we come back round. Vernon obviously in the pits to get a new front wing. And it's Dickerson has served his drive-through as well. And here we go. We've now got some deltas on the board. Top 4 all very close. Morgan and Lee sitting in a good position on the hard compound. But Hamilton looks like he's trying to break the gap already. Go down to P13 as Hill's about to get by Cross. It looks like he is disconnected. This should be a fairly easy move for Hill. And he'll jump up into P12 ahead of Cross. As easy as you like. Corey's opted for the soft compound, so we should see him get very aggressive. And he is right behind Garino. And he's going to shoot straight by using a bit of ERS. Going side by side. And Blakey and Lee are also fighting. They're going side by side through the final corner. And Lee has managed to stay ahead of Blakey. Caravana is staying with these 3. So Hamilton's not been able to get rid of Rowley or Charavanamudtu. By the time of lap 3 and DRS is now activated. There's 3 DRS zones around here. So it is very hard to try and get people out of that zone. Because you've really only got sector 1 to try and do it. As you see drivers start to get a bit wide there. That's definitely a warning for Charavana. He needs to watch it. And that could be a second one. So he may be running on thin ice for the rest of the race. Howarth is very close behind Gibbo. Howarth always finds pace as the race goes on. That's Morton near enough running across that wall like they do in NASCAR. He's very close behind. He's going to go for the switchback as Gibbons getting all out of shape on that harder compound. Morton is just behind, ready to capitalize on any scraps. Gibbo doesn't have DRS on Blakey, but Howarth has DRS on Gibbo. Is he going to take it for a move into this turn? Turn 22, no, but he clips on wall very slightly, and it's going to compromise him for turn 23. And turn 24, Howarth is side by side with the DRS. Should get the move done very easily. And that is Howarth at P7. It is Lee and Blakey that the battle's going on, though. They've switched positions once again. All this fighting means they've fallen out of DRS of Morgan. And now Lee has the DRS to maybe go back at Blakey. As Morgan sets the fastest lap of the race. But there's been a change for the lead. Rowley's got by, and Charavanamudtu is looking to get by Hamilton as well. The Rowley and Hamilton both race winners. Charavanamudtu not a race winner, but has had a fair few podiums. But Morgan on the harder compounds. This is crucial for Morgan. He gets his first race win and the first win for the Remy in both seasons of the Intercore. We haven't had a Remy win. If he stays with this group on the hard tyres, when they all box and they're on the mediums, his will come right in and he'll be able to attack. He should get past fairly easily. Gonna go on board with Hamilton. He's got Charavana behind him, who is looking hungry this race, I must say. But Hamilton's going to have the DRS. But Rowley's pulled away very well. Maybe running lower wings. I mean, Caravana, I say. We should probably jump on board with him because he's right up close to the back. There's so much battling. I don't have enough fingers to keep up with all this. So, after that hectic VSC, I have no idea what a VSC was called, by the way. But, bought a couple of drivers to pick. Oh, where are these shots coming from? These are such amazing shots just coming out of nowhere. As Morton's boxed and so is Chewy. And that is Rowley and Hamilton both coming into the pits. Any wing damage for Rowley? No, just a tyre change. He gets back underway. Hamilton obviously passes his pit box. Gets back underway as well. Have to see where they come out. As Caravan. It looks like, obviously, they've lost time because these two are going to have really cold tyres. Caravan has come out behind them both. But because they've got cold tyres, Caravan should be able to get ahead. So he's had a really difficult outlap on those hards trying to warm them up. And that's put him behind Hamilton and Rowley. Rowley knows what he needs to do now. He's got a little bit of a gap. Caravan maybe get held up by Hamilton a bit. And needs to get by ASAP. So Rowley needs to bring up that 3-second gap if he wants to win this race. Morgan, our current race leader, but he has that drive through. He has the fastest lap as well, though. And I'm sure he'll retain that on the mediums, as he's our fastest driver on the alternative strategy. Lap 14 out of 25. We have 11 laps to go. Currently, it looks like one of the winners going to be Rowley, number 2, or Hamilton. Rowley currently in net P1. Gibbo and Morgan both still have to pit. They are going for the alternative strategy, though. So after they pit, they should be much quicker than the rest of the drivers around them. As I believe the medium compounds are about half a second quicker a lap. Will it be enough, though? I don't think so. I think we'll lose out on a lot of time as a part of a P18 is going strong. And that's Morton has got past Corey. And Morton gets a 3-second time penalty speeding into the pit lane. And that was Dickerson having a little spin in the background. Obviously, point out, he has had not a lot of time to practice. Only had the game for a day. Currently, both our debutants really experiencing how difficult the Inter-Core Championship can be right now in P19 and P20. A bit of experience under the belt will not hurt at all. Morgan, despite 7 a drive-through, is currently exiting P7. And he's just about to lap his teammate as well. Between Blakey and Howard is heating up. These two have fought earlier in the season as well. Blakey in P5. I mean, he's just about with Gibbo, who's obviously on the medium compound now. So P3 and P4 are still pretty good result for the RLC, and will help out massively as Frost has now come into the pits. I think pretty much all the drivers have now boxed, and this will be the tyres that they go to the end of the Grand Prix on. I don't know if... I think Blakey is within DRS of Gibbo, so I don't see any movement happening just yet. Charavan is not within DRS of Rowley, but he is within the 3 seconds, so he is fine for now. And it looks like Hamilton is near enough getting dragged along by him. Back on board with our P6 man, Howard. Just man, Blakey. And even though Gibbo's on the medium compromise, not pulling away, as Howard goes a bit deep into turn 1 there and compromises turn 2. And it gets better traction on the exit. Howard up the P5, Blakey P6. Are we still side by side? No, we're not. Blakey concedes a position, Howard up the P5. Looks like they've lost a significant amount of time to Gibbo, though, so maybe those mediums have worked out. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 as Blakey has had a spin. And Morgan's going to say thank you very much. Moves on to P6 in his attempt to catch back up with the front 5. So no damage, though, so he's managed to get away with that. Just a tiny spin. We're back on board with the front 3. It looks like Rowley's actually used up quite a bit of ERS, and Charavan is all over the back of him. Yeah, Hamilton's still in with a chance of this win. No penalties, so Rowley with the penalty is probably not got a chance of this win unless something drastic happens between the artilleryman and the Loggy. As Mont picks up another 3-second time penalty, our first time with 6 seconds of the night. And yeah, it looks like he's had a spin, and that's caused a full course safety car. It looks like it was definitely caused by Morgan. He's been disqualified position from going the wrong way. It is a very difficult thing to do, drive the right way around the circuit, and that is his session over. Safety car is now entering the pit lane. Ideally, he wants to go as close to the line as possible, but he has gone now, and it's going to catch a few drivers out, it looks like. And he's been able to get a pretty clean getaway. I don't know if Hamilton's going to let him by straight away. Gibbo's looking for it. Hamilton's not done it. They haven't done the switch just yet. Back underway. It doesn't look like anyone's had any collisions going through turn 1, 2, but I've jinxed it. And it's Savage falling right down the order, so it looks like he's had a collision with somebody else. This is the man watching at the moment. And we're just waiting for the switch to happen. As that's how picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's not what you want when you are the driver on the fastest tyre at the moment in the best position. All these drivers with 3-second time penalties, it was crucial to not get. I couldn't tell you who's going to win this race. Morgan looks like he's right on the back of Gibbo. So if they're going to do the switch, they need to do it soon. Otherwise, Morgan's going to overtake Gibbo. And that plan goes straight out the window. I don't know if maybe team orders aren't in effect and Hamilton thinks he can still take this race win. And that is that's Howard on the soft compound going for the move on Morgan, actually. And he's going to go down the inside of turn 26 and get the move done. DRS is not activated yet. It's not activated for another 2 laps. So side by side. And Howard has stayed ahead. Morgan almost puts it in the wall. But Howard now up into P4 and attacking on the soft. So he has a 3-second time penalty. So it still looks like it's in the ball's in Morgan and Hamilton's court. As that's Morgan taking the fastest lap of the race. That was further down the grid. Passing that is Greeno, who's gone for a spin. Now it looks like his race is over. He's fallen all the way down to P14. Out of the points. Caravan is trying to make his way through the field. Van looked like he was going to win at one point. And now it looks like he's just trying to get as many points as possible. And Howard has got past Gibbo. And Gibbo and Morgan having a wee tussle back there. So it looks like Gibbo has made a mistake. And maybe Gibbo is now doing the job of holding up Morgan instead. Maybe they decided, you know what, Hamilton? You can win this race. I've decided I'll sacrifice myself on the medium compound. We need a 3-second gap. It's not what he's got at the moment. Back on board with Charavan and Mutu. On the back of Lee. The battle for P8. No DRS yet, so if Charavan wants to get this move done, he gets a really good exit. Look at the speed. That is just all down to having lower downforce. And there's a really switch between Blake and Morgan. Morgan's fallen down the order quite a bit, but that's because these soft runners now are coming through. Blakey's come through. Obviously got the 3 seconds as well. But Blakey now moves up into P5 on the soft compound. Morgan maybe had an issue as Gibbons managed to pull away quite a bit. And it was 2 RLC drivers going side by side. And they're still going side by side. They're fighting. And Gibbo almost. But it's Hamilton get on traction a little bit earlier there. And Gibbo moves up into P3. So now the top 3 all have 3 seconds. So is the man in P4 going to win this race? Back on board with Morgan. And that is a Blakey going for a spin right in front of him. That is not going to be helpful at all for Morgan, as he needs to stay within the 3 seconds. Well, he needs to actually pass Hamilton if he wants to win this race. Right in front of Blakey, goes right, tumbling right down the order. And that's not going to be a good time. But on the bright side, Theo at Hill could score his first points of the season. Gibbo and Hamilton switching positions again. It looks like Gibbo actually had an issue there. So all the tussling the RLC are doing, they're just switching positions constantly. Once again, no, they're going for it. They're going for the defensive strategy there. Gibbo is now trying to defend from Morgan once again. They're trying to build up that 3 second gap, but Morgan, the Ruby driver, wants this 3 seconds. So currently Rowley has a 3 second gap to Morgan. So I feel like currently Hamilton's going to win this race. But Rowley could take it. And that's Morgan. Looks like he smacked the wall there. But he's got the move done on Gibbo. Gibbo's going to have the DRS and come straight back at him. I haven't seen defense like this since Checo. Or with the DRS, he just gets back in front of Morgan. And he's doing everything he can to slow that Aston Martin driver down. And stop the Remy driver from taking his first win of the season. Howard's quickly approaching Rowley though. So Howard could take this win. On the soft, 2 laps left to go. They've got to build up the gap. They should be pulling away very quickly from Hamilton on those old hard tyres now. We'll stay on board with this fight as it's getting spicy now. Morgan looking to go for the move into the hairpin. He gets right up behind him. Maybe trying to go for around the outside, looking for any sort of move to get by. And Charavan and Muntu has come out of nowhere. And is now approaching these two as well. So maybe going with that soft compound was the right strategy. To be fair, the other 2 drivers on the hards are still in first and third. But it still isn't as bad as what it's turned out to be. I still don't know who's actually going to win this race with 2 laps left to go. The gap is... It's not 3 seconds to Hamilton yet. It's 2.7, 2.8. So Rowley is building it, and he's going to try and get his second win of the season. Gibbo is going defensive once again to Morgan, I think. And Morgan looks like he's got through. I'm not sure if Gibbo is playing for the DRS, but I know Charavana is going to have it on both of them. DRS active, and he's going to go down the inside of both of them and possibly jump ahead of Gibbo into turn 1. No, Gibbo stays ahead. And it looks like he's got ahead of Morgan. If Morgan almost loses the back end at turn 1 there, needs to be careful. We don't lose out to Lee and Pavey. But Charavan has now moved up into P5 on the last lap of the race. It looks like it's still going to go to Hamilton, though. I don't think Rowley's been able to do enough. And I think the win is going to go to Hamilton. But he's putting a scorcher of a lap, to be fair. Hamilton on that last time round, really pushing his ERS. He's still got 50% left as well, so he should, yeah. This looks like it's going to be a Hamilton win, last lap of the race, and he's just cruising. He is just cruising. The rest of the podium sitters, I'm not entirely sure. It looks like it's going to be Rowley, Halep, and Hamilton in the top 3. Gibbo will lose out to Charavana and Morgan. And Charavana's on the back of Gibbo now. And it's going to get the move done on the last lap of the race. And up at a P4. But across the line, we're going to welcome in our front 3. No matter how they finish, it's Rowley, Howard. But Hamilton takes his second win of the season. And keeps the core championship alive. We go next week to find out our winner. Howard's P3, Morgan's P4, Charavana is in P5, Lee crosses line in P6, Gibbo in P7 after that 3-second time penalty moves them down the order. Vernon P8, Corey P9, and AV P10. So double points finish for AMS, just driving consistently there. I'm not sure what happened to Hill, but he was in the points for quite a while. Negrino P11, Schramper P12, Hill P13, Blakey P14, Dickerson P15, Banyard P16, Cross P17, and Savage in P18. What a drive. This has definitely closed the gap at the top of the core standings. And with Rowley's point finish, the only man that can actually catch Darville at the moment, the driver standings go to Brown 12.